You spent 45 minutes making dinner. You even made their favorite, or at least what you thought was their favorite. They take one look at it and say, "I don't like it." And you think, you haven't even tasted it. Picky eating, the exhausting daily battle that makes every mealtime feel like a full-time negotiation. But here's what most parents don't realize. Picky eating is rarely about the food. It's about control, sensory experience, and sometimes fear. And once you understand the real reason, you'll stop fighting at the table, and things will actually start to change. Is picky eating a daily struggle in your house? Tell me in the comments, and subscribe for more content that gets to the real root of behavior. Reason 1. The need for control. Toddlers and young children are in a developmental phase defined by one word: autonomy. They are learning that they are separate people from you, with their own thoughts, their own preferences, their own power. And in their world, a world where adults decide almost everything, food is one of the very few things they can actually control. Will I eat this? Won't I? Nobody can make me. This is developmentally normal, and it peaks between ages 2 and 6. What to do? Stop the battle for control at the table. Dietitian Ellen Satter developed what's called the division of responsibility model. Here's how it works. You decide what food is served, when, and where. They decide whether to eat it and how much. That's it. When children feel like they have a real say in their eating, resistance decreases because the battle no longer exists. Reason 2. Sensory sensitivity. For some children, picky eating isn't preference, it's sensory. Textures feel overwhelming, smells are too intense, a certain color looks wrong. This is especially common in children with sensory processing differences, but it exists on a spectrum in all children. The child who gags at mushy foods, the one who won't let different foods touch on the plate, the one who only eats white foods. These aren't dramatic performances. These are real sensory experiences. What to do? Stop labeling it as picky. Start asking, is this a texture issue, a smell issue? Offer new foods in very small amounts alongside accepted foods. No pressure, no drama. Research shows children often need to be exposed to a new food 10 to 15 times before accepting it. Not tried, just exposed. Keep putting it on the plate, without comment, without pressure. One day, they'll try it. Reason 3. The pressure loop. Here's the painful irony. The more pressure you put on a child to eat something, the more aversive that food becomes. Every time you say, "just one bite," think of the kids who have nothing to eat. You're not leaving the table until you finish. You are associating that food with stress, and stressed children are not hungry children. Cortisol goes up, appetite goes down. And now they don't just dislike broccoli, they associate broccoli with anxiety. What to do? Make the table a no-pressure zone. Serve the rejected food without comment. Eat it yourself with genuine enjoyment. Children are hardwired to mirror the adults around them. They want what the people they love seem to enjoy. Model it without expectation. Reason 4. Food neophobia, the fear of new. There is an actual scientific term for fear of new foods. It's called food neophobia, and it is an evolutionary survival mechanism. In the wild, new foods could be poisonous, so the brain sends a warning signal: be suspicious of anything unfamiliar. This fear typically peaks between ages 2 and 5, and then naturally starts to fade on its own as children develop trust with their food environment. What to do? Don't make the new food the main event. Put a small amount on the plate alongside a familiar favorite, no expectation attached, and bridge the familiar to the new. This sauce is kind of like the one you loved on pasta. You're not tricking them, you're reducing the threat level so their brain can relax enough to try. Before we wrap up, I want to ask, what's the most exhausting food battle in your house right now? Drop it in the comments. You might not be alone. And subscribe. We cover this kind of science every week. Picky eating is not a character flaw. It is a developmental phase with real psychological and sensory roots. Your job at the table isn't to win. Your job is to keep the relationship with food positive. Because a child who grows up at a table without pressure and shame will grow into an adult who can try new things without fear. That's the goal, and it starts with putting down the battle. If this helped you see mealtime differently, share it with a parent who dreads dinner every night. Because when you understand the behavior, you stop fighting it, and you start guiding it. See you in the next video.